Hiya folks, Cyclops FPV here, and today I'm going to be reviewing my latest build. Now, some of you might think that this is a BETAFPV quad, and for the most part you'll be right, except for one vital difference. This uses a silverware tiny whoop all-in-one board flight controller, and the motors are 0.8 mil shafts with 40 mil props and 7x20 motors. Now, I've never run a 75 mil frame before with 7x20 motors with 40 mil props, and I was a bit skeptical at first because I bought the wrong frame. Originally I wanted to use 8mm motors, 8x20s, and I bought the wrong frame, so I didn't have any oh sorry, no, these are 1mm shafts. That's right, because what happened was I had loads of 7mm motors but in 20mm, but with 0.8mm shafts. I didn't have any with 1mm shafts, so to use the 40mm props, which only come in 1mm shafts, you have to have motors with 1mm shafts to go in the 1mm holes from the props, if that makes sense. So I had to go out and reorder a load of stuff just so that I can fit it. I've got 4-bladed props as well, but I went with the tri-blade props because I wanted to have a bit more oomph. Now, the good thing about these frames are they're only £1 or $1.99. The canopy, which is a custom canopy, I think it's called Midnight Sky or something like that, they were only about 99 cents or $1, whichever way you look at it. And the camera is this. It's a 40 channel 800 TB line all-in-one camera with a circular polarized aerial, which has got a UFL connector on it, so it just connects straight in. The other thing I did was I solid pinned the PH2 connector. I just ran a solder along the groove inside because originally they're rolled pins. I don't know whether that makes much of a difference, but I do it to all my PH2 connectors, and whether it makes a difference or not, I don't know, but you know, I'll get decent times out of it. Now, talking about decent times, the good thing about this frame is they take the bigger batteries. They take these type of batteries because it's got a wider battery bay, and these are LDARC high volts 4.35 550s, and I can get about between 5 and 7 minutes out of it, depending how I fly and whether it's on high volt and all that. That just goes straight in the back there. I've modified the connector to go through the frame so it doesn't flap about and get caught up in the props. This does acro and stabilized mode, and it flies really good. I was quite shocked actually, because I was a bit worried because the motors are only 17,000 kV or 17,400, something like that. I thought it's going to be a bit underpowered, but I did some research and I thought, well, if I put 40mm props on here, they'll give me more lift, and it will compensate for the lower kV motors, because you can go a lot higher on the kV. 19,000 seems to be the best for acro maneuvers and flips and rolls and stuff like that, inverted yaw spins and everything. But this does it really good. And I think what it is it's the wider diameter props. It allows more air to be pushed through rather than the 31mm props that you get on 65mm whoops. I flew it around in the apartment, and yeah, it's really stable and it reacts quite well. So I'm quite pleased with that. So I mean, this is a cheap build. The board is only about $10. The batteries I had anyway, but you can use the ones with the leads as well. I'm just using these because they're plugged straight in. There's less mess with the wires. The camera was about $18 off Banggood. It's just a no branded FPV camera. It does power an NTSC. Like I said, it does 40 channels. Nothing special. And the motors, I think they were from BETAFPV, and I think they were $5 for 4. So I bought 8 of them for $10. So if one goes, I've got spares. The canopy, as I said, was $1.99, 99 cents, and the frame was $1.99. All the other frames that they do are out of stock at the moment, and they have been for a while. They even do brushless versions of these frames. The frame, as I said, is 75mm. And that's all you need, really. That is a simple build, but it took a long time because I was waiting for parts to come in, because I realised that nothing matched. So, as always, there'll be flight footage at the end of this video, and this is really just a fun build with stuff that I already had lying around, or I thought I had lying around, until I realised I'd bought the wrong frame. And it's just going to be, just for general acro use, flying in between trees and, proximity flying, and flying in between gaps and stuff like that. It's just going to be a fun thing. But it's a cheap enough build that anyone can do. The board's okay, the rates and everything are plenty enough for something like this. And it's an extra one for the collection. It flies really good as it is, so I could fly, in between stuff at home and go from room to room and stuff like that. But really, it's an outdoors quad. So that's it, really. There's the camera. It's lined up all nice. I've got double sticky pads holding it in. I've had to drill the hole for the antenna to go through, which is why I've got a bit of insulation tape on there, just to hide the hole that it sits in, and it's also to stop the antenna flopping about too much. See, look, because it's got a UFL connector on there, it swings quite a lot. So I'm just, in a crash, when it bends back, I don't want to get caught up in the props, so I've just put that insulation tape there to A, hold the hole, hide the hole, and B, to stop the antenna flapping around too much, because it's quite a loose connection, that UFL. So that just keeps everything hunky-dory. Yeah, that's it, really. It's running props in, and I can tilt the camera just a slight amount, not much, but the props aren't in shot. Like with most whoops, you get props in shot. This isn't. This totally keeps the props out. It's not the canopy I wanted to use. I have got another canopy that I want to use. It's I think it's off Make a Fire Armour 65 Pro. It's a weird looking thing with loads of holes in it, and it's more elongated. But I couldn't get the camera to fit in there properly without putting force on the lens, so I went for this design. But you might see this again on the channel with a different canopy. Well, we'll see how it goes. These are very fragile, these canopies. I already broke one of them. It's split in two. So we'll see how it goes. I've got to do some reshaping on the other canopy to get it to for the camera to sit in there. But yeah, the camera angle, as you can see, is quite high. So it's really good. It gives me a good field of view as well. But yeah, anyway, that's I can't even name it really. I don't even know what it's called. But it's a 75mm whoop, and as always, there's flight footage coming up. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Okay, folks, so this is the flight footage from the 75mm, and I'm just flying it around my local park, just getting a feel for it. This is my maiden flight, and yeah, this feels kind of heavy, but it's got a lot of thrust. As you can see from the picture, I'm getting a bit of video noise. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to have to strip it down and check that out. But the overall picture seems to be quite good. There's no latency in the colour and anything, apart from the sun looking like Nubius. But yeah, I don't know, this is a weird... I've never flown a 75mm before, and I don't know. I was getting some funny behaviour out of it, and I'm not sure if it's the wind catching it. It wasn't particularly windy, but there was a couple of bursts of wind I had, and I'm not sure if it catches the quad and affects it, or whether it's the tri-blades. Although they are giving me a lot more punch than I thought I was going to have. Oh yeah, I hit the chain link fence then. I have another little crash in a minute as well. But yeah, the battery on this, I'm getting 6.5 minutes out of it consistently. I've tried 3 batteries and uploaded the best video out of the 3. And yeah, I was getting 6.5 minutes, and that's at 550 milliamp an hour on 435 volts. So yeah, the power seems good. The handling at the most times seems all right, but I am getting these little fluctuations every now and then. I don't know whether that was one of them, but it just seems to act a little bit funny. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad quad. It's not my favourite. I still prefer 65mm. Oh, one thing I will say is this is really loud. It's noisy. I don't know whether it's because it like the area I was flying in, but I could hear it at the other end of the field. All the way over here, I could hear it. Like it was right next to me. It really made a din. But I'm going to try the 4-bladed props at some point, and see if it handles a little bit better. But yeah, certainly quick. I really wasn't expecting this to have the thrust and the speed that it did. So I was right about the 40mm props on those motors, and it wasn't running hot. The battery wasn't hot. Yeah, 17,000 kVs weren't bad on this. It really behaved itself well. The thrust seemed like quite good. I was managing some power loops and some split S's. Now and again, like I said, like it behaved a little bit funny, but I can only put that onto the wide frame and the wind catching it. You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to do some more testing. But it wasn't particularly windy. It was just a little bit breezy. Now, I'm just sort of trying out the handling here at sort of lower speeds and trying to get a feel for what it's like lower down, and just like the handling. But yeah, it's quite heavy. It feels heavy in the hand and heavy with the flight. Now this battery, although it's a 550, it weighs the same as an Emax 450 battery. It's exactly the same weight. I think it's 12.5 gram or something like that. It's or is it 14? I can't remember, but it's quite. It's the same weight, and it's the lightest one I've got basically. But yeah, I mean the power to weight ratio doesn't seem to affect it much. But it is a weird one to fly. I can't explain it. It's good. It behaves itself and everything, and as you can see, it flies okay. But I don't know. I think it's the noise. It sounds like a bigger quad. You can probably see the shadow of it on the ground. I've got to shift this camera a little bit as well. It's not 100% straight. But I don't know what's going on with that video noise. It is annoying. But yeah, I mean, it's a cheap enough build. It flies okay. With tri-blades, it's got plenty of thrust, good battery life, and I just got to do some more flight tests on it. Really, go a bit slower, and this is where I'm starting to use full throttle, just to sort of keep up. Because I've got no telemetry on here or no battery power, I've got to rely on the throttle to tell me when to land. But I didn't know that I did 6.5 minutes flight. It only felt like about 4. And there we are, we come to land. Yeah, not bad, but more testing needed, and I've got to get rid of that video noise. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.